I was pregnant at school, 13 years old, sitting in a classroom, hiding a secret growing inside me. Everyone saw a teenager. Nobody saw a mother fighting to survive. This is my real story. Every word is true, and it begins now. When I was 13, my parents separated. My mom moved to the countryside. She took my 3 younger siblings with her, but I refused to go. I was stubborn. I was a teenager, so I stayed behind with my dad. At that time, I had just started my first real relationship. I was also starting high school. Everything felt new. Everything felt big. Eventually, I gave myself to that boy. But he cheated on me. He was with the ex-girlfriend of another boy. That other boy would later become the father of my son. That is how I first met him. Strange, isn't it? Life works in strange ways. We had been together for less than 5 months. Then something began to feel different inside me. I still had my periods, so I didn't worry much. But I kept getting sent home from school. I felt sick all the time. I was not even halfway through 9th grade. My life started falling apart. I barely went to class anymore. My dad thought I was just upset about the divorce. He sent me to the school counselor every week, but it didn't help at all. My attendance only got worse. Then one afternoon, my brother came to stay with us. He brought his girlfriend. She is now his wife. They have a beautiful daughter, and another baby is on the way. She looked at me carefully that day. Then she handed me 2 pregnancy tests. I was scared, but I took the first one. I waited 3 minutes. It felt like forever. Then the result appeared. 1 dark pink line and 1 very faint line. My heart dropped. I thought, oh no. I took the second test. It was positive, too. My brother and his girlfriend drove me to a clinic that night. I gave a urine sample. The doctor told me I was not pregnant. I felt so relieved. I thanked God. But about a month later, I missed my period completely. My brother's girlfriend found me crying in my bedroom. She said maybe the clinic tested too early. Maybe the hormones were not strong enough yet. Deep inside, I felt she was right. So the next morning, I went to see my regular doctor. I was terrified walking into that office. I asked for a blood test. I wanted to be sure. 3 days later, my brother took me back for the results. The truth was right there in front of us. I was pregnant. The blood test showed I was already 8 to 12 weeks along. On the drive home, my brother and I called my dad. He did not take it well. He thought I was joking. My brother had to take the phone and tell him it was real. My dad came with me to the first ultrasound. It showed I was 11 weeks and 4 days along. I will never forget that day. On the way home, he started yelling at me. I broke down crying. He called me a fool. He told me I should end the pregnancy. Later that day, my boyfriend came to the house. He brought his mother and stepfather. We all sat down together to talk about the future. My boyfriend and I had already made our decision. We were keeping our baby. Both of us believed strongly against abortion. He sat next to me on the sofa. He rubbed my belly gently. He told me he loved me, and he loved our baby. He promised his feelings would never change. My dad had the worst reaction of all the parents. But over time, he changed. He became my strongest support. He started to love the idea of becoming a grandfather. His very first grandchild was on the way. On Christmas Eve of 2013, I had my bloody show. But the real pain didn't start until January 2nd, 2014. It was 6:30 in the morning. The cramps in my belly grew stronger. I went downstairs quietly. I spent 4 hours sitting in a warm bath. My boyfriend didn't even know I had left the bed. When he finally came to check on me, I told him I was fine. I said I just felt a little restless. I told him to go back to sleep. He went back to bed, but he didn't want to leave me. He woke up again at 10 in the morning. I was still in the bathtub. He asked me again if I was okay. I said yes. I told him to go about his day. I said I would get out soon. An hour later, I finally got out of the bath. I went upstairs and tried to rest. I slept until 4 in the afternoon. Then I stayed in bed for another hour. The contractions were getting stronger. I breathed through each one. At 5, I got up. I checked my hospital bag one last time. I made sure everything was packed and ready. By 6:30 in the evening, I went downstairs. The family was sitting together for dinner, but I could not eat. The pain was too strong. I went straight back to the bathtub. For 4 more hours, I sat in the water. I moaned through every wave of pain. Then my stepmother knocked on the door. She asked if it was time to go to the hospital. I said one word. Yep. My boyfriend came in and helped me out of the water. He wrapped me in a dressing gown. The car ride to the hospital was the worst part. Every bump on the road was agony. When we arrived, the nurses checked me. I was 3 centimeters dilated. They told me something that scared me. If I didn't make more progress in 2 hours, they would send me home. They gave me medicine called pethidine to help with the pain. It let me sleep for about 2 hours. While I slept, my dad called my mom. She lived 3 hours away. He told her the baby was coming. She got in her car right away. She drove through the night just to be there. When I woke up, the room was full of people. My boyfriend's parents were there. My own parents were there. My younger sister was there. Even my grandmother had come. When the nurses came back to check me, I asked everyone to leave. Everyone except my boyfriend. I was now 5 centimeters dilated. The medical team decided to break my water. It felt very strange. It was not the big gush that people talk about. There was only a small amount of fluid. At 10 in the morning on January 3rd, 2014, it was time to push. Only 30 minutes later, at 10:30, my son was born. My beautiful boy, Kessiel Wren Thornley. My boyfriend cut the cord, but I could not hold him right away. His shoulders had gotten stuck during delivery. He was very cold. They placed him on a warming pad for a few minutes. Then they finally put him in my arms. My boyfriend and I both cried. We held our son for the very first time. I stayed in the hospital for 3 days. Then we were allowed to go home. Bringing my baby home was the most amazing feeling I have ever known. In that moment, everything felt perfect. But being a new mother, a partner, and an older sister while doing schoolwork was hard, very hard. Still, I kept going. Then 4 months later, everything fell apart. My boyfriend demanded a DNA test. He said he would not accept being the father without proof. The results came back. Cassiel was his. But it didn't matter. 4 months after Cassiel was born, my boyfriend cheated on me. We broke up. We are no longer together. But we have stayed friends. He now has a girlfriend. She is kind. She treats Cassiel well. She cares for him the same way I do. As for my life now, things are good. I am in a wonderful relationship. I am engaged, and I am happy to say that my fiancé and I are expecting a baby together. The baby is due in December 2015. My fiancé also has a son. His boy is just 4 days older than Cassiel, and my fiancé has full custody of him. I have truly never been happier. But the road to get here was rough. I lost many friends when I got pregnant. There are still people I no longer talk to. School was also very hard. People judged me. People criticized me. But even if I could go back, I would not change a thing. Being a young mother in school is a heavy weight to carry. I stopped going to classes when I was 6 months pregnant. Later, my stepmother watched Cassiel so I could go back. I finished year 10 because of her help. In January of this year, I put Cassiel in childcare for the first time. Since then, I have gone back to studying. My fiancé and I live on our own now. We are 15 minutes from my mom and 30 minutes from my dad. It gets tiring sometimes, but there is always a small light at the end of the road. Watching Cassiel run around the house as a happy little toddler reminds me to stay strong. I am halfway through year 11 now. I want to finish high school. Then I can give more time to both of my children. This path is not easy, and it is not something anyone should look for on purpose. You must be sure you are truly ready. Understand how serious the consequences are. And if you do find yourself expecting a baby, please do not expect everything to be perfect, because perfection does not exist. Thanks for listening to my story. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and tell me where you're listening from.